another step this year? I know I see the chuckle there, and just what makes him so good.
Man, I don't know. I don't know what makes him so good. I mean, I know he has pedigree. First of all, his pedigree is pretty special. We know that. Okay. The second part of it is it's just something in certain people that want to compete at the highest level. Like when you think of the Kobe's, the Jordans, these guys that are just relentless in the mindset of not only going and working on their skill, but the mental part of the game. He has it all. I mean, where is his weakness? You know, is a very, very hard deal to find any weakness in him because he tries to find his weakness and he's constantly working on it and he's turned those weaknesses into his strengths. So has he taken another level? Yes. He is a guy that is still ascending in his career. A lot of times guys get there and they plateau, but I think his biggest fear is plateau. And a lot of people want to get to a level and play at a certain level a long time. That's not his goal. His goal is to continue to get better every single year, like some of the greats that we've seen do. And I think he'll continue to do that. Special person, special player. Don't think I've been around a more prepared player walking into a game than him.
You just said,
Scottie, since you've been here, is there a weakness that he has turned into a strength, and what would that be in your mind?
Man. So when I first got here, I didn't know his ability to play on the perimeter, on the edge, his route running ability on the edge. This offseason in training camp, his detail route running on the outside, being able to separate on the outside, not being a slot guy, but actually being able to go out there against number one corners and play at the level that he was playing at, separate individual cuts, all of those things. I don't know if, he's gotten so much better at it or just he's got more time to work on different things. But at the top of his routes right now, he's as clean as any guy out there right now at the top of his routes. And that's really usually the difference between inside guys and outside guys. They're more find the space, but these guys on the outside, they have the ability to plant, gather, turn, get out of their break and stop on a dime. Well, man, he showed he has the ability to do that.
You just said Kobe and Jordan when you described Amon-Ra's mental toughness.
Yeah.
That is the elite of the elite. You believe he's right there?
I never compare my guys cross sports. But when I talk about mentality from what I know from afar, I don't know those two guys. But when I look at them, and I've grown up idolizing both of those guys 100%. But every time I get a deep dive on a documentary or I get to see them from afar and I'm watching them in practice settings or leading their teammates with the iron fist sometimes, pulling them along sometimes, this mentality is a rare mentality, especially today. He is a throwback player playing in today's society, and he is doing an exceptional job at it.
Just curious, Jackson Meeks, we asked you about him really early. You just talked about we're gonna need him at some point. He's gonna be important. This was the week. It was special teams, the role he was needed, but it's still that's a player that worked for a debut. To have the ability to let him know that he was going to be part of it this week. What does that mean to you as a coach?
It's special. I think some of the hardest times as coaches when you're a real coach, when you really love ball and when you really love the people that you're working with. Like that's what coaching is. One of the hardest times that you go through is when you have to tell guys that they're not going to be on the initial roster. There's nothing harder than telling a guy that when he has done everything he can possibly do to be on the roster. But other circumstances sometimes don't always allow that to happen. So the closest thing to a feeling of joy that you can have is that when you do get to go back and say, hey, this is the week. I thought he did a really good job. His preparation was great, man. We're really, really proud of him. He got to continue to work. We're going to need him again. It's just going to happen. That's just what this is what this league is about. And that's why I think, Brad and Dan have done a really good job of putting the people in the building that can actually help us.